I'm at Racing's North Turn to get a look into the history of the races at Daytona Beach. Let's go meet Rhonda.
Sure. My name is Rhonda Glasnick, and my husband and I own Racing's North Turn and have for the past 16 years. The restaurant was built in the early 50s, late 40s, early 50s. We don't know the exact date of it. And if you travel around the rooms and you look in the pictures, you'll see several pictures of the restaurant behind it. We were actually located right behind the bleachers.
Oh, okay.
It is the first name that I can figure out is Sandpiper Bar and Grill, and they served box lunches to all of the racers out on the beach, and apparently they delivered, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now I've been told, and I've never been able to quite confirm it, but we were also told that our office that we use in the back, which at that time was sliding windows, was a pay window.
So
For the
maybe that
drivers.
was the ticket booth? Or?
I don't think it was the ticket booth, but I've been told
Okay.
it was the pay window. It was where they kept the money to pay the racers. Now, I've never really been able to confirm that, so I don't know. That's
Okay.
I've had some old race car drivers tell me that.
Tale be told.
Yes,
right?
tell be told.
Having fun at Racing's North Turn.
I've been coming down here since 1998, I believe was the first time. But when I raced, it was in 1953. It was the first time down here to participate in what they called with a sportsman or modified coupes.
Oh, okay.
And I came down with a fellow that owned a car by the name of Johnny Ross. And he was from Torrington, Connecticut, and I was from Waterbury.
Oh, okay. So
And
Connecticut.
the reason we came down here is to us up in the Northeast. Indianapolis was the big spot. So what was Daytona all about? We knew that some of the stock cars had started down here, and the NASCAR had been formed to officiate the tracks up north. So we came down here with his coupe, towed it down on a wishbone, and a few fellows and whatnot, and we qualified, and they qualified 136 for that race.
Oh, wow.
Because there was so many cars, they had to put them out on the beach, 3 abreast, in so many rows deep. And it was kind of a mix-up start, but somebody way up in front threw a flag, and we all knew how to get going. An interesting thing about that race, prior to the start of the race, a famous driver, Al Keller, come up to me, and I was sitting in the car, and he said, "Russ, did you ever run down here before?" And I said, "No, it's my first trip." He said, "Well, I'll tell you, after this thing gets started, there's going to be so much flying sand, you won't know where to go. So I suggest you get a piece of cardboard and hold it over the front of the windshield. And when you think you've gone about a mile or so, take it down because you'll be able to see going into the north turn." So I did that. And I said, I talked to him about it. I said, "I won't know if somebody stops in front of me." He said, "You're going to hit them anyway." So with
That's
that,
true.
I did what he told me to do. Went about a mile watching the people standing there in the ocean. Figured I was somewhere in the middle and took it down to get it. And sure enough, when you got into the first turn, there was cars all over the place.
Right.
That was an initiation because eventually the radiator loaded up with sand and we overheated and I
Oh,
had
boy.
to pull out. Next time I came down was with the family car because they then started the Grand National Division showroom stock. So I worked at a Ford dealership as a service manager in Waterbury, Connecticut. And with that, I decided I was going to go back down to Daytona Beach, but that was a family car at that time.
Oh, okay.
Two-door Ford. Well, course, my first wife didn't know anything about it. I decided, and I didn't have any financial help from anybody. So I got a financial, we had the car all painted up with number 26 on it. And when I was in the race in 1956 with my Mercury, I qualified 5th fastest, which meant I started in 5th position.
Okay.
There was 72 total in that Grand National race. So they were a variety of makes and manufacturer, of course. And I had one of the Mercuries. And the factory, well, under Bill Straub, had 2 entries. So there was several Mercuries, and they all did real well.
problem.
However, although I qualified 5th, I didn't stay there, because as the race went on, coming into the north turn, a fellow by the name of Jimmy Reed in a Chevrolet had gone by me on the outside, and I thought I'd take Jimmy Reed by going in on the inside. The only trouble is, the closer you got to the shore, the closer you got to soft sand.
Yeah.
So when I got into the soft sand, off the hard tack down sand, the car began to fishtail. And because the steering ratio was, I think it was 5 turns spot to block, you never catch up to it, and eventually the zigzagging, I ended up wrong side up for several times. So I landed just past the entrance out here, and I climbed out of the car, as you can see in the picture from Life magazine, that my bell was wrong, so they took me down to Halifax Hospital to spend the night there.
Can I tell you